Hey guys, happy Friday. Should be Friday, and it should be morning. That's when Diane usually loads these up. She's doing a great job too. So happy that we can have rendered video again. But anyway, today I said we were going to talk about my first brooch as compared to newer, materials that I've made and things that I've made, and how could we take the idea that I had my first brooch, because there were some good things, and go from there. Now, mind you, this brooch, this is it in all its glory. I don't know if you want to zero in on it, in case you guys didn't see it yet. If you've been hanging out with me on Instagram or on here, the last week we've had several videos where I talked about it. Okay, yeah, this is even hanging off. I don't, it's at least 35 years old. And I made it out of a box of junk that somebody sent me, and some bibs and bobs I had as well. And I don't know, what possessed me to take a piece of cardboard and cover it with taffeta and then cover it with crochet and just hook stuff on. I don't know. What possesses anyone to do anything, But I did see some good things about it, but I'm also like, oh man, this is a sad little piece. Let me tell you what. But I thought, what can I do with something like this? And with the components that I have now, and make it really fun, a real good mixed media piece for you guys to try, something pretty. So I thought, let's go for it. So that's what we're going to do today. And by the way, I'm Brenda Sue, and this is Bisou Boutique's channel, and we're so glad you tuned in today. And if you like this video, you're in for a big treat, because we have, what is it now, 520, 22, something like that. There are more in this vein, so just scroll back on Bisou Boutique's channel and have fun. Okay, so I'm going to take this out of the way for now because you've seen it. Oh, and to show you the back too, how did she do that? I just sewed the back of an old busted piece of jewelry on here that had a pin back on it. So what I've got out here today is I've got some cardboard, because this brooch started on cardboard. And I've got some scrap paper right here. I thought instead of taffeta, scrap paper might be
pretty.
A little bit easier to work with, and I have lots of it, so if I goof something up, cardboard, scrap paper, not hard to come by, And then I have some little doilies and things like that, and lace that I could cover with. And so I'm going to show you how I covered this. Now, those of you that do scrapbooking or even wrapping gifts and things a lot will probably do better than me, because this is not something, I do all the time. But I'll show you the way I did it, and then you can take it from there. How's that? Okay. The round one was hard. I'm not going to lie to you. For me. But there's a way. It was okay. It all worked out. So I started with that. And then I lined up my stuff. I've got the hot glue here, which if you know me, you know that it's a rare thing. Yeah, there's my big messy plate with I always get a big old plastic plate and put my stuff on. And anybody that knows anything about me knows that hot glue is the hugest no-no, and I don't ever use it. In this case, because you're doing paper to paper to fabric, you're okay. The stuff on top, most of it maybe will go on with E6000. I could still probably do the hot glue because it's going on to fabric. It just has a different grab to it. You'll be okay. But when you make jewelry out of brass pieces like I normally do, or pewter pieces or whatever like that, you need to use E6000 if you're gluing, okay? And please excuse any glue residue that you may see on my hands, because I was doing this all last night.
Excuse my reaching over, but I just want to show
for anybody that's not familiar with E6000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a great glue for making jewelry pieces.
Yeah, you just need a little bit of ventilation if you're going to use it very much. Just a little bit on there won't bother you, but if you're going to use it for more than 15 minutes, you probably need to get some ventilation.
Now, I noticed you have a ruler set up there. You want to tell them how big those pieces of cardboard are?
Sure. Now, you don't want them too big, but you're going to have them a decent size. Now, you can experiment with it. That's the glamour of it, Just make what you want. But this one is a diameter of about 2.5 inches. And this one is about 2 by 2.5.
And you can do other sizes.
Yeah.
I just thought they'd like to know.
It might be fun to do one that's kind of half this size and see what happens. In fact, maybe I will. I had a good time doing this. I'm not going to kid you guys, but I had glue all over. First, I started out, this was the first one. Let me just show you the first one I did, and then we'll go ahead and cover. was prepping this. A dear friend of mine has a lot of scraps of old bridal lace. Not that old, but old enough. She has a little company where they make gowns for little babies who've passed away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for their parents to bury them in. This kind of bittersweet. But it's a kind thing she does, and that's what they make them from old wedding dresses. So she had all these snips and bibs and bobs and things of lace, and she sent them to me, and I thought, well, that would be a great time to experiment with the things that Gail sent me. By the way, her business is called, I think, Angel Gowns, and it's in San Pedro, California, so if you want to look her up, you can. I don't have more connecting information, but yeah. Her name's Gail Fleury. So anyway, so I had that. So I did the cardboard thing, and then I covered it with paper and did that, which I used Yoo-Hoo glue, which looks like this. And if you guys that do scrapbooking and stuff like that, no Yoo-Hoo, this is a bodacious big one. But hey, go big or go home.
Oh yeah, whatever works.
So I glued it all down with that, and then I used this stuff. Aleene's Fabric Fusion. It was pretty good. It had a consistency that kind of surprised me. But I got it all over my hands, and it took me half an hour to get it off. But that's my fault for being stupid. But yeah, I wanted to cover it real good. That's what I used to get this down. So I did that. So that's how that one went. Then here's another little piece that she had from the stuff she sent me. I thought maybe I'd go kind of like this and just do some buttons and this pretty thing. So it looks kind of brightish, But you could even use it for a little ornament. You can make little ornaments like this too. All you have to do is just put a little bit of ribbon or a little wire in the back of it and have ornaments too. So there you go. Another idea. Starts with cardboard. Everybody's got cardboard, right? We do because we pack boxes. So we have lots of cardboard. We're throwing cardboard out. But yeah, just find something that's a nice consistency. You don't want something that's real flimsy. I was trying to see if this has a back nut. You'll figure it out. You're smart. But this is what I use. This is from like regular old cardboard box. Yeah. So anyway, so this was the first one I put together, and I hope to finish that one because that's too pretty just to leave here like that. And then I did this one, which was round, and I piled some little things on top of it because I thought, that's what I'll put on it. But
here I thought it was all put together.
No, I just lined these. I was going to do it last night, and I just got really tired because we'd already done one video yesterday, and it was a live one, and I had my regular work to do, and I thought, no, I'm done for now. So I just piled it up, and we'll get it in the morning. But yeah, I just covered this, and I'll show you how I did this. And then I happened to have an old doily that was just about the right size. So I tacked that on there with Yoo-Hoo glue, and I think that's coming up a little bit. I might want to put a dot of
hot glue.
Hot glue, yeah. But for temporary, that was okay. And then I thought I would make it a sewing pin, so the things that I put aside to put on it were, sewing in nature, So that's how that came. And then I have this other one, too, that's kind of a rectangular one. But you know what? Before I yak on, which I'm so good at doing that, I just totally lose you. I'm just going to go ahead and put this together the best I can. And it'll be clumsy. I guarantee you. And feel free to throw out some ideas in the comments if you want, because I'm not a scrapworker. I don't do... I love paper. I made a lot of jewelry out of paper, believe it or not. But this kind of thing, covering something, no. Anyway, but I've got my Yoo-Hoo stick. I think I'll push this up a little bit. And I'm just going to go around the edge And this will be fine to hold paper to paper. No problem. It's going to be solid and good. Just get a good bit on there. Nice and covered. Okay. And then I'm just going to lay it down. Wherever I had a kind of a rose over here, so I'll just lay it down. Just kind of figure out where I wanted it, you know. Rather than cut it to size first and all that. It's not really necessary, I didn't think. But now what I'm going to do, I think see, can I move this up a little? No, I already grabbed. All right. So I want to cut this out, but I want to have an edge, and I just barely got enough, but I'll be okay. I want to cut this out with an edge, leave some space.
To wrap around.
Right. And I'll show you how I did. I wish I had left a little bit more, to be honest with you. So when you do it, leave a little more. It'll be easier for you to do. Still going a little narrow with it. We'll manage. How's that? Okay, so now what I do is I take and I snip in just little bits every so far. It's kind of like when you sew. You do this kind of thing when you sew. So I guess that's probably where I got the idea, because I don't sew very much now, but I used to love to sew, and I used to see this. I got this really too narrow. But I can compensate. Watch me. Okay. Yeah, that's where that came from. I used to sew everything.
My mom used to sew when I was a little girl. She used to make clothes for me.
Did she? You know, I think back at that time, because I knew your mom well. This is Diane with me, by the way. She's my assistant. I knew your mom really well. And, you know, at that time, when she was doing that, everybody did. I mean, everybody. Okay, so now I don't have my... You know, I'm just going to go for it. If I mess this up, I mess it. I should have a piece of my... no, I don't have it close by. Those little Teflon sheets that we carry. I could have had that under here. Anything I'm gluing. So I'm hoping not to get glue residue on my foam board. But if I do, oh well, I have more. You're worth it. So I'm just going to go around the rims. Kind of... I think you can see where I'm going with this, you know. Then I want to get it on here. So I have something that grabs on, you know, both ways. On both ways. Okay.
We had a neighbor who lived down the street and around the corner from us. Mm-hmm. And she sewed, but she made Barbie clothes.
Oh, yeah. My mom did that. My mom did all that stuff.
Super fancy.
Yeah.
My Barbie was the best dressed one in town.
When I had my birthday, I knew what I was getting. I was getting Barbie clothes because my mom always made Barbie clothes. And me clothes. And so when I got old enough, guess what I did?
Made Barbie clothes?
No.
Oh.
No. No. I still had my Barbie doll at the time, but I outgrew it. I sold my Barbie doll on eBay.
Oh.
25 years ago, probably. Like when eBay was real new. And I got $100 for it. And it was mangled. I mean, the hair was cut.
Must have been a rare one.
Well, it turned out, yes, it was. It was one of the first ones you could bend legs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. But anyway, I hope she's in somebody's collection happy still. My Barbie. But anyway, no, I never made Barbie clothes, but I made a lot of Brenda clothes. That's for sure. You know, I mean, everything. And then Mom and I made my wedding dress. I made my wedding hat.
Wow.
Yeah, we did all that. One time, I got really ambitious after I was married for a few years, and I made John a suit.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I made John a suit. Now, it wasn't the best looking suit. Yeah, it looked kind of like a clown suit.
Oh, my.
The fit wasn't great. I was not a tailor at that time. Not that I ever became one, but...
That was ambitious, though.
Yeah, well, I did that back then, you know, and I do it with jewelry makings, too. I challenge myself. Okay, what's the next thing I'm going to learn to do? Like, I remember saying, okay, I'm going to learn to make a pocket, you know. I'm going to learn to make a welted pocket now. I'm going to this and I'm going to that. So, you know, I did that with jewelry making, too,
And that's how you grow and progress. Just like you're showing today.
I never got back past basic soldering. I did not like the fumes from solder. And, I just said, you know, there are plenty of other things to do. So I didn't go there. But I do know how. And that's the one thing. Sometimes you could say, well, yeah, at least I know how, you know. So. Okay, so now what I need to do, I wish this was down a little bit more, but it'll be okay. I need another piece of paper. And this one I'm not going to crimp the edges. I'm just going to glue it to here. So I need to get this on here. And I'll just go over the, the pieces that are kind of sticking up just a little bit and get them to lay down.
Yeah, now I see why you said make the edges a little longer.
Yeah, this I don't have quite enough here to work with, but I'll manage. There's always a workaround,
Mm-hmm.
The more that you work with your hands and you make stuff, there's a workaround. And I started sewing when I was 13, and I made school clothes and stuff like a skirt and things like that. But then I just kept doing it. I made everything, and I just found, okay, that didn't work, so what do we do? Can't throw this all out.
Spent money on this material.
I won't kid you, there were a few I did. But most of them I just felt like, no, I gotta work this out.
I always wished I could sew. We did it, of course, in home ec.
Yeah.
But it frustrated me.
Oh.
So I would get halfway done with something, and then I would take it to a friend of my mom's who sewed, and she'd finish it
Oh, your
for
mom
me.
wouldn't help you?
Well, she didn't have a sewing machine anymore.
Oh.
As I got older, she had gotten rid of it.
Okay, I think I'll leave this like this. Okay, so I'm just going to set this down on here. And just kind of press a little bit. And now, what I'm going to do is the opposite of what I did on the other one, which I should have cut out around about that much, and I didn't. I just really barely had enough to work with. But now I'm going to kind of cut in a little bit. We'll see why in a minute. I'm going to just cut in and just kind of skirt under
The edge.
the edge. And you would not have to put a doily over this, people. I'm going to tell you what. You don't. You could just glue to this if you want. Why not?
Yeah, the paper's pretty.
Yeah, you could. But I just like that extra layer. That's me. But yeah, there's a lot you could do with this. You can make a brooch. You could turn it into a neck centerpiece. Why not?
Yeah, especially if you did, like you said before, a little bit smaller. You said you might like to try a little smaller.
Earrings.
That could make a
small. It could be earrings if you wanted. You could do that. Why not? That could be really cool. Come to think of it. Let me just stop in my tracks and think about that. Yeah.
But I think maybe like a little smaller than this piece. Like maybe half that size could be a great necklace focal.
Yeah. Try
now
whatever.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, try, and it's kind of relaxing. Okay, so you can see the result on the other side is I just barely got it, covered to the edge. I didn't want to go all the way out because then I'd have to wrap it again. Then it would look clumsy on the front. So I just want it to be smooth. So I'm just gonna kind of push this down. Now, like I say, if I had allowed myself a little bit more seam allowance, if you will, around the ring to clip and press over, it would be smoother. That's why it's a little bit pointy and irregular on the edges, but it's okay. It's going to be fine. Okay, so now now when I made my original brooch many years ago, the way I did this one is I took the piece of taffeta. You can see it's crimped up along the edges same way, kind of irregular, like really irregular, as a matter of fact. And I took it and I drew it up like you're making a yo-yo for a yo-yo quilt or whatever. Went around the edges with my needle and then pulled on it and I gathered it all up. So that's what I did under there. That's how I did this one. And you can still do it that way if you want. I mean, there's an alternative. It did work. And that's not the problem with this, the base. It's the stuff on top, to me. But I mean, really, if I took this and rehooked it, and then took this and rehooked it somehow, maybe I could make it look better. And I don't know if I'd wear it, though. Maybe. I don't know. It's just kind of a little bit too sad for me. Okay, so what I'm going to do now with this is I've got some little doilies. So this one's almost big enough to just do the whole thing. Here's a little piece of burlap that's frayed on the edge. You could use that too. I think I'll stay with doilies. Doily. That's a fun name, a fun word, doily. I think I'll stay with my doily. Okay, so I could do something like that. You know me, I always like movement. Go around the circle. You see, I started with this one, and I went here, and I went there. I tend to do that. Okay, it'd be nice if they were all ecru, but they're not. So, and here's another thought I could do. I found this pretty little scrap of tattered lace, and this is old. And I thought, well, it might be fun to like just take and glue that around the edge. What you think? I like that idea. Do that. Yeah, I just got barely enough.
That's the fun of it, is you can do it how you like it.
Yeah, right. And the reason why I like this idea is because I can hook through the crochet. So if I wanted to take and like what I do? Well, you know it. If I wanted to take and like dangle some little pearls on the edge or something, I could, because I could go right through that. So that might be kind of fun. I have smaller ones too. That would probably be even better. Of course, who knows where they are now, but they were here. Anyway, so there's that. There's that thought. But I think I would probably go with this. I don't know what. Let me take a look, see what that would look like. You can just lay it out. You don't have to glue anything down, you know. It's the same way as when you do any other. This is assemblage, and that's my thing. That's my forte. That's what I do. I do assemblage of all kinds, with all kinds of materials. You can just lay it down and see if you like it or not. Like the pieces that were on top of these other ones, you know. Diane thought they were glued down right now. I'm just checking it out, you know. So I could put that down if I wanted. Make like a little bit more of a finished edge and cover the crimping thing. I'd have to fix this up. And then put this over. And then I could leave this little piece showing to get a little bit of that color in there, but I don't know that I would. I'll probably do this and this, like I first did. Or I might scarf back through my
what about this little one?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty. Ooh. I might put that on.
Yeah, that'd be real cute.
I have a doily pin. Don't even put hardly anything on. It's just doilies, you know? You could. Or buttons. Look, here's a beautiful button. No buttons on there. Do that. Could take a bead. Some of these check beads are kind of flat. You can even sew it on if you want it. So many ways you could go. Rose. We have these at the website. VisaBoutiques.com. VisaBoutiques.com. I have most of this stuff there. But like for the scrap paper and the cardboard, everybody's got that. I'm sure you've got that.
Well, we have rice paper.
We do have rice paper. But that's kind of...
they're beautiful.
It's kind of thin, though.
But if you're just doing it for an underlayer, it would be fine.
You could. This, my friends, is rice paper. So you can kind of see the consistency of that. Let's see. Here's an... Aha! Aha moment. Yeah, rice paper would be awesome. Rice paper. So if you got some rice paper scraps, it's great. You could apply this with Mod Podge. That's the best thing to use with this stuff. Mulberry rice paper. So you can find a lot of pretty things, but that will work too. Aha moment. It'd probably be easier to wrap as well. A little bit more
because it's not as stiff.
Yeah. Yep. There we go. So maybe the next one I do will be rice paper. I've always got scraps of this laying around. Rice paper is my friend. I love the rice paper. If you want to know about how I use it, tissue decoupage, there are a lot of these. I think I probably even have a playlist. So just go to the Visa Boutiques channel and then click on the little magnifying glass. That's your search box. And put in tissue decoupage. Or just tissue. We'll bring it up. And then see what all
I'll
comes
try
up.
to link one of the videos at the end of this one for the tissue
that would be nice,
decoupage.
Diane. Thank you. That would be great. I'm sure they'd really like to see that. That'd be fun. Anyway, so I could probably save myself a lot of, trouble if I did that. But that's what it is when you work with stuff. You find this stuff out. You find out that, like, oh hey, I didn't have to do that. This would have been easier. This would have been easier. This would have looked better. That kind of thing. So it's all it's all in the making, all in the doing. How you do it. So I'm liking how this looks so much that I'm not even going to worry about the other ones I started. I'm just going to finish this one.
Okay.
We're going to go start to finish, guys. So I kind of know where I'm going with this already. That's always awesome to know where you're going with it. And so often, I don't. If you're me. Okay, so let's see. This is my bottom, right about here. So I'll probably start to glue it on it. And in this case, I am going to use a small bead of hot glue. So, when you go to press this down, use a popsicle stick to push it down because it's very hot and it will burn you if you just reach in there and just start pushing it down. You're not going to like what it does to you. That's the thing about hot glue, Anybody who uses hot glue a lot knows all about hot glue burns.
And it's very easy to burn yourself if you're not
careful.
careful.
You have big blisters.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of the popsicle stick because once you get it down, you can smooth it around the edge with that.
Exactly.
That's a great idea. I'm taking that idea home.
Okay. So I can go ahead and just place this. But as I go, I'm going to just kind of push it down.
That is a great idea. Because through fabric, it'll burn you. It'll come right through the
but
fabric.
This way, you never touch it. So we had that class, when was that? Last fall or something. It was called Uptown Boho. And we did a lot of stuff like this. And there are girls on Etsy who make jewelry connoisseur like this, do pretty well with it. Their prices are up there, let me tell you. Well, when I was going to do the class, I took a little of the money that I earned from the class and I bought a couple of pieces from some of the artisans that make this kind of stuff that I really admire. And I always wanted a piece of their stuff, but also I kind of wanted to see what was going on, It would help me with the class. So it was interesting. I bought a brooch, and that brooch was built on a piece of plastic that I'm sure she cabbaged out of a pop bottle.
Could have been.
A big 2-liter bottle. It was like totally improvised. It looked good. She fixed it up and made it look good, but it was totally improvised. I thought, well, there you go, Why not?
It's a good way to recycle. Things don't get wasted.
No. I'm not big on broken jewelry assemblage, although I've done my share of it, let me tell you. I like to take pieces, but I rarely just say, okay, I'm going to do everything out of this sack from the flea market, because you never have quite the right pieces. You need a decent base, you need a decent this, you need that. So there are some things purchased that you might want.
My very favorite piece to do assemblages on is our scallop neck base.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's like the mainstay. If you're going to make a necklace, you need those. And we always have them in stock. We always have lots of them at bcboutiques.com. And oh, by the way, I just jumped into this and didn't say. And I need to say, guys, if you like this video and you like what you're learning, please like the video. With the thumbs up thing, click that, please. And then please leave me a comment under the video, even if you just want to say hi, or if you want to make a comment about, like, this is how I do it, or I don't care, so long as you're nice to me, you can say whatever you want. Yeah, because that helps us with our rankings. We've been working on that lately and trying to get our people to go ahead, please leave a comment. because it helps the rankings, and I have been seeing some new people, and I do need to see some new people. I'm just going to cut this in. It's just, it's like, when you find something good, you want to share it, right? So that's how you can help share me. I had, in the space of a half an hour the other day, I had 3 ladies comment on an old video that I had done making tassels out of lace. And they said, we've never seen you before. We've never seen your videos before. And I'm like, wow, 522 videos. I've been on here for 13 years and they've never seen. So it just shows it's a big wide world out there. And of course not everyone has seen you. Come on. So you need to keep getting your name out there. And that's the best way on YouTube to do it. I mean, you can pay money and have professional advertising too, which never hurts. But it's so uneven. You just don't know if it's going to work or not, it's just one person telling the next, and the grapevine. Heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah,
there you go. So hearing it through the grapevine is the best way. Now, I'm going to hot glue this, too, because the Yoo-Hoo, I don't think is strong enough to really, I proved that here. I can just lift this right up, and I glued it. So we don't want that. So I'm going to do some more. Now, I didn't really want a lot of this showing through the glue. Although some, the glue coming up through the lace, although that'll be unavoidable to some degree. But we are going to put things over top parts of it, so.
So you can always cover that over.
Yeah. And you don't really have to glue it all the way out to the edge. You can just put, little basting dots of hot glue, if you will.
I think it looks better if it's not every little tiny piece of it glued down.
Yeah, it's a little bit more randomy and
has a little more movement.
Homey.
And it has a little more movement.
A lot of people like memory jewelry. You could make a pin like this out of, if you made your dress for your wedding, out of your wedding dress. I did things with my wedding dress material. I think I still have some. You could do that, or just some old fabric that maybe your grandma had stuck away and she gave it to you, and whatever.
When my cousin got married, her mother made her wedding dress, and she made every single bridesmaid's dress.
Yep. That's how that went. I made my bridesmaids make their own dress. I picked a simple pattern. They all sewed anyway. Back then, I married in 75, okay? And back then, we all sewed. Everybody sewed.
That's true. Not near as many people do anymore.
No. Well, I'll tell you the reason I got away from it is because there were so many outlet stores and you could buy really nice clothes with really good fabric in them for really good price.
For almost less than you could.
For much less, instead of going out and buying Pendleton wool, which right now I wouldn't even know what that costs by the yard. I remember it used to be like $35 back when I sewed. So,
oh, gracious.
But you could go. A lot of people will go and they will look for clothing that has good fabric in it, and they'll deconstruct.
Yes.
I knew a lady who did that years ago. She made herself the most gorgeous, almost like couture clothing. And that's how she did it. She went around looking for good fabric.
There's several girls on Instagram who go to Goodwill and thrift stores and buy things and cut them up and rework them.
Yeah. I like to follow...
Turn them into more modern...
T. Myers, Tracy Myers. If you ever get a chance to see her. She hasn't been on YouTube a long time, but man, has she built a following. She's delightful. She's so cute and bubbly, and she's got great ideas. But she does mostly clothing. She does some purses, too, that are, like, killer. If you like that kind of... everything she does is really boho, and, she doesn't really make, like, tailored clothes. Like I was talking, this woman that I knew years ago made tailored clothes out of it. She does funky. She does Stevie Nicks dresses, if you will.
Oh,
that kind of thing. And she likes to wear them and model them too. It's so cute. You need to watch her.
I think I like this, that they're not all the same color.
Do you?
I think it gives it more interest. I think if they were all the same color, they would all blend in together.
Yeah. Probably turn into a blob. Just like, like I call paperweight brooches, when people they just start gluing everything together. Oh, I'm doing assembly. And they don't think about placement. They don't think about movement. They don't think about really where anything goes. It says, oh, does this fit against this? Oh, yeah, okay, blue. And they end up with what I call a paperweight because it's basically what it looks like. So we don't want a paperweight crocheted pin. Okay, so look at that. Do we have our nice movement or what? So I'll just put this one down.
Because I think as I'm looking at the pieces you're making now, compared to that first one you made, that was maybe one of the issues was that it was all the same color. It's pretty much all the same color.
But the thing was, I'm going to tell you what the big issue with this is what I was just talking about. It was not made with intention. It was not thought about.
Composition and...
It was like, okay, I got this. What do I do with it? Oh, I think I'll just put it on here.
But as I'm looking at the pieces you're making now with the different neutral colors and then pinks and greens and golds, it jumps out at you more.
Yeah.
But that's what you learn as you go along and you continue making.
But I will tell you, this is something you don't have to learn. I'll just tell you. When you do assemblage of any kind, you always want flow. You always want intention. It might look like the thing is random. I used to say, I want this piece to look like I just opened a pirate chest and this stuff was laying there.
Oh, cool.
All random. You know, I might want it to look that way, but to get it to look that way is not going to be just jamming stuff together.
Correct.
There's going to be some thought, you know, so that's how that goes.
And for me, one of the things that I learned from watching your videos is when you're doing assemblage, start with the biggest pieces first.
That's right.
And then you work the smaller ones in and around.
It's the big pieces, then the medium-sized pieces that go on top of that, and at the end you have the window dressing, which is a little bit that's the fun stuff.
Yeah.
That's what makes your pin or your necklace or whatever. I mean, this is a brooch. Not a lot of people wear brooches anymore. I went with a brooch because that's what I originally made. Because back when I made this piece, we wore a lot of it was the 80s, people. What can I say? You know, back then we wore big. Everything was go big or go home, glam stuff. So yeah. So this is kind of maybe big for some people, but you know, it could be a coat brooch or something.
But see, that's my thing. I know people, brooches aren't really the thing. And
I love them.
I do too. And on my outfits, I don't wear them often, but on a coat lapel, a winter coat lapel, I just love the way it dresses it up.
Yeah. Yeah, you need something there. Now we have to decide what kind of brooch is this going to be? Is it going to be just a big, like a flower bouquet brooch? Is it going to be a theme, like sewing? It could be. Is it going to be a button pin? I got everything here. I wish you could tell me. Diane has her hand up. What would you say?
Flowers. I love those flowers over there.
These ones?
Yeah, I love those. That one's so beautiful. And then the pink one next to it. Here, let me hold that up so they can see this. Because this flower, look at that. All that iridescence.
It is very pretty.
I love it.
I think those kind of blah.
It is kind of in this one because the brown is a little
kind
too
of blah-ish.
But the pink ones would look nice.
I also have.
You're right. It looks better on the lighter lace over there.
Stuff.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
I could even layer it a little bit more, and this might make me almost like a pattern or a trail of like. So what I like to do if I have something going around this way, I might go across then. I don't know. Maybe, you know what?
I think you're covering up too much of that.
No, here's the thing. Oh, here's another little one. That's cute.
Oh, that's cute.
Maybe I'll put that there. Excuse me. This is like in sections. Yeah, I've got a good bit of this so I can...
Just to add a little bit of color.
Yeah. We were carrying this type of lace on the site. I don't know if there's any left. As you can look, it'd be under the ribbons and lace section. BeastieBoutiques.com is a very large site if you've not been there. I would like to encourage you to go. It's a beautiful site. It's beautifully designed, and we have so much stuff. Vintage style, real vintage, and and just everything you need to make assemblage jewelry and more. And one thing we specialize in is we have the things that you need to make Miriam Haskell style jewelry, which I don't think you'll find anywhere. We even have brass that's plated in the right color. So if you know what that is, if you know what Miriam Haskell jewelry is, you definitely want to give us a shot and have a look, because we have that stuff. So maybe I would have one going like this way. It will cover up the doilies a little bit, but it moved. How about that? Maybe going this way and then another piece. This is just a random piece in here. Cut this out and see what happens. I hope you guys are going to love this so much that you're just going to want to go as soon as you watch this video and say, I'm going to make that. This is a great project for when you're stuck in the house in the winter. Okay, now I've got another idea. This curves around kind of like this, but there's nothing here. So, it can go the other side. It goes either way.
Oh, that's good.
It goes
That's
either
better.
way. So, maybe I'll just take and put a little splash of color on the one side. What do you guys think?
Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah, I'm looking at my iPad here to get a good view. Yeah, I kind of like it.
Here, let me move it up and I'll zoom in on it.
There's a little thing I have to trim off.
That looks cute. Now it looks almost more like a wreath. That's really cute.
Yeah, and I like that look. So I think I'd move that up a little bit. And maybe leave a little bit hanging.
And that's
on.
the fun of just playing around, laying them there before you.
Yeah, let me see now. Oh,
That's
yeah.
cute.
Yeah,
That's
me
cute.
likey that.
That's cute.
Yeah, me likey that. Okay, so now I just have to glue it down. And once again, I will use hot glue to do that. But it's going to have to be just little blobbers. So I'll just start out with one little blobber and get it down.
Maybe put the pink flower there and it will cover it up.
Yeah, but then it doesn't come down all the way
gotcha.
down there. We got more pink flowers, Diane. We could just cut them off of something.
I love that pop of pink on those
Papa
neutral
pink.
colors.
It's a papa pink, Diane.
Oh, that's cute.
Papa pink.
That's very cute.
Lace assemblage, if you will, huh? Who knew we were going there? I didn't. So now you might be saying, well, why did you need the cardboard? You could have done this, this, and that. So, okay, so do it. It's all about the discovery. No right, no wrong. If you see me doing something and say, well, that's cool, but I think I would do this, then do it.
For sure.
You won't be wrong. There's no wrong. Nobody taught me to do any of this stuff. I just did it. And I think that's how it is with a lot of, assemblage artists. It's just did it. And then you stood back and you looked at it, like I'm stopping every so often. I've got the iPad up because we need to have it to see. I use it to gauge myself to be sure I'm staying on camera. And so then I can stop and look at the piece and we can zoom in and all kind of stuff. Oh, this modern world. Who would have thought? Who would have thought even 10 years ago we'd have all these tools, let alone 20? When I got on the internet, it was 97, if you can imagine. Man, have I seen the evolution of the internet. Because when I got on, I immediately started selling. Because I was an antiques dealer, plus I had a line of vintage-looking jewelry that I made and sold to gift shops. And we made it here at home. I had 7 helpers, and we had about 500 accounts, so we were busy. When I got on the internet and started doing my selling there, and life was easier. Then I had to truck everything around, all the time. But, boy, we used digital cameras to take pictures, and they would come out huge, and we didn't know how to size them. And then you'd upload them to a rinky-dink, rudimentary website that somebody made who didn't know what they were doing. They're just doing their best. And, see, I got little bits and pieces here. Now I'm just going to kind of go around this. It's not quite the same pink, but I think it'll be okay. I don't know. That might be too much. What do you think?
I like them, but I think it's too much.
I think maybe the thing to do is go ahead and start composing the rest of it.
And then add those in.
Insert, there you go. Add the tiny things last. So there they are. They're ready. So I've got my main thing here. Let me just move this a little bit. I'm so pleased with how this is coming out, guys. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how happy
But that's what I love about assemblage. So you just laid those on. Okay, it's too soon. We set them aside. We go somewhere else. You come back later, try them again. It's just fun to me.
So and
it's like a puzzle.
I did it in a certain way, but now I'm turning it, and I want it this way. Yeah, that's how I had it. Okay, so now Diane says we're going to do flowers.
That one.
This one?
Or that one. I just love the pink.
But they don't look that good together.
No, that other one over there.
This one, yeah, this is the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. Now, to balance this out, I think I've got a little tiny one in here too. Here's a little, found that. We have these on the website too, different types. In fact, some of the ones we have are vintage and came from 1928 Jewelry Company, if you're familiar with them. So that makes them kind of special. I kind of don't want to go to the center with this.
Mm-mm.
Maybe. Oh, I've got these little things.
Oh, I like that. Let me zoom in on that.
Yeah.
That looks
a little
cute.
These we have on our
Super
website.
cute.
They're made from vintage dies.
Love it.
Same way as they always were. So we have a lot of this stuff at the site. So I've got that one. And I've got this one I could put in. Now these I could sew in or I could glue in. Hot glue. Normally with brass I'm like, not hot glue. But in this case, it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Oh, I'm really liking how this is coming out.
Then maybe
See, oh, that's cute.
just kind of hide the hole
Or even
there.
the other little pink, this one.
No, it'll disappear. I think I need to have a special little.
Ooh,
Place.
what about that fabric mauve one over there?
This is ribbon rose. You like that? It's okay.
Switch it out with that one and let the other one and let's see. I don't know.
Well, we can come back to it.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do for now, though, is I'm going to glue these guys in, I think.
Oh, what about the gold one? It'll pick up the gold of the leaves.
This?
No, the other little one.
The
That
gold
one.
rose?
Yeah. What about that one? It'll pick up on the, and then you could put a little pink stone in the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe
This
that.
is getting too low in the circle, though. That's another thing. When you build something like this, I have found that there's a tendency to do everything you put on something closer to you because you can see it. When it's done, you've got everything heavy done on the bottom lower half. And it's not, you don't have enough up here, and so it's not balanced. So you got to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put this on here, really it needs to be like, about like this. And then I could put this guy on there. And this guy. And this guy. Oh, here's a... Oh, no, that's not going to work there. Do this. His is a bigger one. I have all kinds of this kind of stuff. Now, as you can see, there are little holes and cups and stuff. Okay, this is for back in the day when they used this stuff in jewelry making back in the 50s and 60s. They would use what they call a kick press, and they would insert little cups in here and put rhinestones in them. Here and here, all those little holes, that's what they would do. These little holes, like on this one, they would just set stones down in. Where's my pointer? Here it is. They would just set stones down in here, like this. So little pearlies. So you have to put the pearls in if you use this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's
that would be
nothing
so
nothing
pretty.
that says you have to, but I think you want to make it look really, really nice. So you can put this more toward the top. And move this here. And then start coming down this way. Instead of going all the way out to the edge, just start coming down this way maybe. And follow it out. And then we could do another little sprig here maybe. No, it's too much. You know what? I think I'll save that one. I like the lighter look. It's lighter. I think I will. I'll go in there. And it needs a pearl or something here. Oh, here's a big Rosemonte. That's a stone that's set in a cup, a little plated tin cup. And it has on the bottom it's got little holes. Here.
You could sew it.
You could sew it if you want. I never do. I just glue them on.
But it's so, it adds such an accent, a bright,
I was looking
blingy
out in the
accent.
drawer this morning for a little company that has, like $5,000-$6,000, not $5,000-$6,000. I mean, 5,000-6,000 items on it. We were out of a lot of things. We didn't have a lot of Montes, so I had to get some. That's not hard. These are Czech Preciosa. That's why they're so fiery and glittery. I'll have to get some. I couldn't believe they were out because I can't live without Montes. I gotta have Montes. I had these left over from another project. So I have this one. It's just kind of twinkling out from the side. Could do that. Do this. Maybe do this. Anyway, I think you guys, I'm not going to be able to finish this because I can see it's just taking a long time and I don't want you to have to watch paint dry. So here's let's see what we take away from this. What do we take away from this? What we take away from this is that we need a base and we can use cardboard. We can use scrap paper on it. And I showed you how to do the round one, which is the hardest. The square one's easier. Or you could use mulberry tissue paper, which we have beaucoup of it at beadsboutiques.com. You could use the little flowers, the little doilies. You can use Yoo-hoo glue at first and then hot glue. If you want to use E6000 for your bigger pieces like this, you can.
The thing with E6000 though is the hot glue dries pretty fast.
Yeah.
The E6000 takes some time.
Yeah, so it's kind of like instant gratification type thing.
With the hot glue.
Don't ever use super glue though, I will tell you that. If you think you're in a big all-fine hurry, you might be, but just don't go there. There are very few instances where what they call so-called jewelry super glue is really what you want. Very, very, very few. Normally, when I'm doing glue, I'm doing Yoo-hoo for maybe paper, some little fabrics. I'm doing hot glue for fabrics. If I'm doing a fabric piece, mostly I'm doing E6000.
Mm-hmm. Especially with metal pieces.
Metal to metal, glass to metal, anything like that. This is the one. I have used this for about 35 years, no kidding. And when I made my line for the stores, we had very little come back because stuff fell off of it. Very, very, very little.
Yeah, that stuff bonds like nothing else.
Yeah, and if you glue it right, and also if you look up glue, go to the little magnifying glass, excuse me, and look up glue. I think there's some really good videos on glue technique and which glues work best. And there's another glue that I use called Hypotube cement, and it's for putting in rhinestones, stuff like that. So those are your main glues. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go get my coffee because I haven't had my coffee yet, people. And I'm just going to sit here and mess around with this and finish it today. And then I'm going to take a really nice picture and I'm going to put it on my community section, which is also in the nav bar at the Bisa Boutiques channel. You'll see it, so you can see the picture. But I'm going to, for now, I'm going to very carefully let Diane lift this up and take it so she has a picture for the video. Because we kind of need that. But hopefully people say, well, that doesn't look done to me. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll say, oh, I like that just how it is. And you might be one of them, which it would be fine. But I'm going to finish it. So anyway, thank you for having a look at this video. I hope it gave you some new ideas. I hope it encouraged you. I hope it inspired you. I hope you go make something with it. You know, even if it's not this, maybe you take an idea from this and apply it to something else. Get busy. Use the talents that you have. You know, people say, oh, I can't make jewelry. Everybody can make jewelry. Every last person can make jewelry, especially if you do assemblage. Like I say, nobody taught me how to do this. I just had, I was an antique dealer first, and I had all little bits and pieces of tchotch, and I used them, and the rest is history, you know. Ended up with 500 stores accounts, you know. But then I did that for about 10 years, and I said, enough of that. And then I went into jewelry supply, and I'm a teacher, yay me, and an artist, yay me, which is what I always want to be. So you can be too. Don't let anybody tell you you can't be, because you can, okay? So go have some fun with this. And come and visit us, please, at bisaboutiques.com. That's our website. That's how we make our living. The videos are free. And please leave me a comment, because it takes just a minute on your part. Doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us a lot. And we could use that. So thank you. Have a great day. Till the next one. Bye.